In West Virginia, it is illegal to whistle underwater. Bet you were wondering that. I was thinking about my friend Mark, who happens to be in West Virginia. And actually, oddly enough, one of my first videos, I think I put it as one of the first videos. I don't know if it's still in here or not. But I quoted myself saying, I hope that in my lifetime I never see bestiality legalized. Well, I did a little research, not into bestiality specifically, but laws. I wanted to compare. This is a long story. We'll get around to it. I wanted to compare states that had legal bestiality to states that had legal equality in marriage. So I did a search. How many states is it legal? Is bestiality illegal? I believe it was. Well, come to find out, there's not a lot of states really that have laws against bestiality. There are some. However, like in the states that don't have them, it's not illegal. It's not legal, but it's not illegal. There's no law stating that you can't. And I even read in some places it depends on the size of the animal. Like I was like, this is appalling. Why is this okay? Like, someone I know today posted something. I'm not going to say who it is, but I was so appalled by it that I unfriended them. I don't want to see their posts anymore. I wasn't really super close with this person. I knew this person for a few years on a day-to-day basis, but things have changed and I just don't see them anymore. I don't want to say who it is. But I was just so appalled by it. I said, you know what? I was about to post something. Like, I read the article that she posted, and it was basically how allowing gay marriage will affect them, individuals who don't support it. And it was just absurd, and it was ridiculous and offensive, and I knew this person leaned that way. heavily leaned that way. We're talking Tea Party leaning that way. But they don't normally post things that extreme on their site. And when I saw it, I just thought, I'm trying to make my life more positive every day. And by seeing stuff like that, and I know I post stuff like that sometimes too. Not to the degree that she did. But, I mean, mostly they're silly. Sometimes they're a little serious, and I probably should just keep my mouth shut. But, this was enough that I unfriended them. And not like it's a big deal. Not like I'm not going to be their friend in real life if I run into them. I'll be very civil to them and friendly with them. But I won't tolerate that. Like, when I see stuff like that, all it does is boil my blood. And I don't want my blood to boil. I want to laugh and giggle and say, hey, Corey, did he eat the seats on Corey's Facebook page every now and again? Or, you know, just share something somebody's doing or something, you know? Like, I don't want to be surrounded by negativity, and when somebody's posting stuff like that on a regular basis, then I'm just going to unfriend them, because, I mean, I can still be their friend, I guess, in real life. I don't know. That's a tough thing to deal with, huh? Knowing that somebody is completely against just about everything you believe in. And I'm not just talking about the whole gay marriage thing. I'm talking about other issues, too. This individual, actually, I said to once, I posed this question. I think I posed this in another video, too. I said, if you own 2 winter jackets and there's a homeless person that has none, are you stealing from them? And though I don't think you're actually physically stealing from them, the right thing to do would be to give them your other jacket. I mean, a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but to me, to disagree on that is crazy. Sure, you don't know their situation. Yeah, they might be a drunk. Yeah, they might be out of jail for something like that. But you know what? Everybody deserves a second chance. I've said this before. I'm like, you know, people have down and out on luck times in their lives. And the times and the people that I turn them around aren't the people that say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. They're the people who go out of their way to do what other people won't do. And I am going to pat myself on the back. Like, I don't think anybody would have gone over to that woman who was crying that day at Walmart. I just don't. I mean, I was loading groceries into my car, in the back of my car, and I could hear her, like, you know, about 12 car lengths away, maybe 7 or 8, I don't know, somewhere in between there. And I kept watching people walk past her, and, you know, people clearly were aware of her and doing nothing about it. And it's the people in this world that do something about it, I think, that make the difference. Even if they don't change everything, like, you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know where they are in life. Maybe that one moment of someone standing out in the crowd and just saying, is there anything I can do for you? Like, maybe that makes all the difference to them. Maybe they just... I've heard suicides. Like, those that fail, most people say, if someone had just acknowledged me that day, I wouldn't have tried to kill myself. And I think that's just... I mean, it's uncomfortable at first, I think, sometimes to step out of your comfort zone. Like, when you walk by a homeless person, I mean, I've done it a million times in Boston or New York or wherever I've been. There's not a lot of... I don't think there's any... Well, I'm sure there is homeless here in Lynchburg, but I think there's places for them to go. And they take advantage of it. Or I'm just not going through the neighborhoods where these homeless people are. But it does. It takes a lot to just... And it takes a lot, too, in my opinion, to let down your guard. Because you don't know about the person, but I think you let the powers of the universe handle that. Like, I don't think that's something you can handle. Like, they might be a drunk, and anything you do for them, they're going to try to find a way to get alcohol in their system. But that's not your decision to make. That was their decision to make. Choosing to try to help someone is a decision. Choosing not to help someone because they might be a drunk looking for the next drink. You know what I mean? You have to make the decisions, and I think the more right decisions you make, just the more aligned and clear things become. And so many people just completely won't give up their stubborn, old-found ways to realize that there's a better way to treat people in the world. And this basically, this person was dragging religion into the whole gay marriage thing, and not so much dragging it in, but obviously it's a big part of it. The problem is that I don't think it's a religious thing at all. Like, if two atheists want to get married, they don't go to a church to get married. And even if they did, they still have to go downtown and fill out all the paperwork. Why? Because it goes into records. They don't... Marriage is just it's a romantic gesture. It's a beautiful thing, and I highly recommend it. But it's not the thing that says you're married. Hell, even that paper doesn't really say you're married, but... I mean, it does, but... I just couldn't tolerate it, and I don't want to feel angry, so I'm not going to put people in my life that make me get angry. I think that makes sense. I don't know. It's a nice step forward. So that's my spiel for the night, really, on that subject. I'm sure something I say will remind me later on of something else I wanted to say, but generally, I think that's my point. It's just, and I have no problem if people unfriend me because they are completely against what I feel. I mean, that's fine. If you don't want to see what I have to say, either block me or unfriend me. I don't mind. It's not that big a deal. It's better to, not see eye to eye and not fight about it than it is to not see eye to eye and just ruin a friendship or relationship or whatever. So, I want to end this on a little bit of a nicer, sillier note. I found, while looking for these bestiality laws, as we all do, I found this site called dumblaws.com. I don't know if they're all legitimate, but, for example, in Alabama, it is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church. It is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church. Now, who's the judge of, it doesn't matter. If you're wearing a fake mustache and someone in church laughs, you're going to jail, buddy. That's right. I'm sure it's a misdemeanor, but nonetheless. Oh, and this one, now, this was crazy. This is also Alabama. It was a specific county. I didn't write it down, I don't think, though. And I'm sure this doesn't exist anymore. But, putting salt on the railroad tracks is punishable by death. If you go out there with a salt shaker, you're dead. They're putting you... I think they still use the guillotine in Alabama, too. I could be wrong about that. God. Alabama, man. I wouldn't mind seeing Alabama, though. You know what I mean? I want to see everything. I want to see the whole world. I want to see every inch of the world. I want to see under the ocean, and I want to see in space. But mainly I want to see, like, other countries. Like, I'd like to see more of this country, too, but... I mean... If there's one thing beyond my, like, immediate goals as a parent, as a husband, so on and so forth, if there's one other goal I have in life, it would be to somehow get the family traveling. I mean, we're already homeschooling Grayson. Gwen's only got 2 years left of high school, and she's graduating high school. Damn. 18 she'll be in 2 years. 16 now. She gets her license this summer. Damn. Yeah, sometime I'll have to just tell you about my family a little bit more, who they are. It'd be interesting, too, to watch this in 20 years, if I'm still around and it's still around, to look at it and go, wow, hopefully there is a 20 years from now. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder, will there be a tomorrow? I don't know. Okay, let's see. I was just looking at Massachusetts because I know a lot of people watching are probably Massachusettsians. Yeah. Actually, this is funny, and people in other states may not realize this, but tattooing and piercing was illegal in Massachusetts until 2000. That's one of the laws. I remember when I had to go, well, when I wanted to go get my first tattoo, I had to go to East Providence. And I went to no, it wasn't Electric Ink. It was the one right before it that's kind of sucky. And they did my stars, my 7-star tattoo, which was my first tattoo, yeah. So that was a weird law. But there's also, like, laws in Taunton. If I'm not mistaken, you can still graze a certain amount of cattle or sheep on, or goats on the Taunton Green. I'm sure nobody really does that because they probably graze them somewhere else, but hey, if you need a place to graze your sheep, get on down to the Taunton Green. I don't know why I said that with a southern accent. I should have said, get on down to the Taunton, the Green. Terrible place to drive. Children may smoke, but they may not purchase cigarettes in Massachusetts. So is it illegal to give, like, a 5-year-old a cigarette? Like a butt? You want a butt? Go ahead, kid. Makes me think of Clerks. At a wake, mourners may eat no more than 3 sandwiches. These are good for here, but they're not good for here. That's a pain in the ass, switching back and forth. Yeah, at a wake, mourners may eat no more than 3 sandwiches. Damn, that's not fair. Well, I guess it is. Snoring is prohibited unless all bedroom windows are closed and securely locked. Quakers and witches are banned. Bullets may not be used as currency. I think it's a good one. There's a few of them that are really good in here. Oh, there's one in California. That, I mean, obviously it's a federal crime, but on a local level, let's see if I can find it. It's unbelievable. You're not going to believe it. I mean, there's a lot of crazy ones. All dog waste must be removed from any yard within 7 days. Bowling on the sidewalk is illegal. That's a real bummer. Well, I'm not moving to Chico, California. It is illegal to plant a garden in any public street. Here it is. Here's the good one. In Chico, California, detonating a nuclear device within city limits results in a $500 fine. Huh. I'm sure you could detonate it and not be there. So, surely, you could still be arrested for it. Surely. And don't call me Shirley. However, I have a feeling that's the least of your worries if you've been caught detonating a nuclear device within the city limits of Chico, California. I guarantee there's probably a bigger crime there, a federal crime. I could be wrong, but... Christ. Sandboxes may now be used as ashtrays. Some of these are good advice rather than laws, I think. I wish I could remember. I think West Virginia was the first one I looked at because I thought, well, come on, if we're talking about peace... Sorry. Roadkill may be taken home to supper is a law there. I don't think that's really a law. Like, really? Can't you do that anywhere? I mean, I do it all the time. No, I don't. Although, I heard of people with fresh deer. Whistling underwater is prohibited. There was just one that was just like common sense. Like, really? Like don't slice throat with knives or something ridiculous. Knives are not for slicing throat. I don't know. It's just something like that. It's crazy stuff out there, man. There's some crazy laws. Hey, let's wrap this thing up. I don't know what that was a series of. I think it was originally supposed to be fishing, and it turned into a bullwhip of some sort, some electric power whip. Well, I'm going to sign this off for tonight, and this will be canon. But I'm going to go on and do another one. Last night was a little disappointing, especially forgetting that it was the 25th episode. We got a lot to go. I'll figure out how many days it is before the next video, and I'll let you know. So go make somebody smile. Do your best to make somebody smile tomorrow. I like that a lot better. I feel like it's less demanding. Do your best to make somebody smile tomorrow, and let's make this world spin a little happier together. Alright? I'm Jason Oliveira, and this is The Road to 40.